Congressman Greg Steube was one of the 26 original Republicans to vote against Tom Emmer, who was dumped today, or, well, forced out, I should say. Not much difference by former President Trump. One shot at him on Truth Social, and he's done, as Trump went rhino hunting today. Congressman Steube, good to have you on. We're showing the full message here in case everybody wants to see it. But talk about what we saw today.
Well, I mean, it was very clear that Emmer couldn't get there. He asked for a roll call vote in the conference by name. And there were 26 of us that stood up and either voted for somebody else or voted present and not supporting him. And then he asked for each one of us to come up individually and explain why we were where we were. He has one of the worst conservative voting records of anybody in leadership. He's voted for gay marriage. He's voted to allow transgender into our military. And I certainly couldn't support a candidate like that to lead our House and fight against the Democrats and Schumer and Biden. So I think he realized that he couldn't get there. He didn't have the votes to get there. So shortly thereafter, he withdrew his nomination. Now we're back to the drawing board. As we speak, the conference is going through a nomination process again. There's 5 or 6 members. Mike Johnson out of Louisiana, Byron Donalds is running again. Mark Green, Chuck Fleischman.
Who do you like? You've got Louisiana and Florida have good reps running. Who are you going to get behind? Byron?
Well, I think from a practicality standpoint, Mike Johnson had 97 votes when we left conference. Yeah. Byron had 25. Mike is in a place where I think the conservatives can support him, and I think the establishment, more moderate members of the conference can support him. Before we left, there was a moderate Republican from New York who said, let's just have a roll call vote for Mike Johnson. So there's obviously support in the moderate conference for Mike Johnson. It's hard to think of anybody that has anything bad to say about him. He has a very conservative voting record, which I support. He had one of the most conservative voting records of the last 9 that we had. So I certainly think that he's probably a front runner going into this next conference meeting. We go back in at 8 o'clock and we'll vote again. If whoever gets to the majority, hopefully they do what Emmer did and ask for a roll call vote to see where everybody will be on the floor.
You got some decent names, and now it's getting polluted with more names jumping in. I was excited when there was only 2 or 3 pretty solid names there. Now we've got 5 or 6, it looks like. But we will follow this. Congressman Steube, good to have you on. Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for having me.